We can discuss this further now with Luciano Zaccara. He's a Middle East and Gulf political analyst joining us from Doha. Luciano, always good to have you on this news hour. So when we talk about the action that Donald Trump could possibly take, there have been reports that he has now discussed this with those in his cabinet. What are some of the things we could possibly see the United States do here?
Well, the point is that what we don't know is what is the objective of Trump. On one hand, he is mentioning an operation like Maduro style, meaning that he would target directly Khamenei. On the other hand, he's saying that he wants to destroy the military capacity of the Revolutionary Guards. On the other hand, he says he wants to save the Iranian people from the government. So it's difficult to know what the target could be, considering what is the objective Trump's want to achieve. And he clearly said he wants to win, but win what? So there's a variety of things that can happen, like a very chirurgical attack targeting one person, to a cyber attack, to a military high-level military operation, including B-2s, bombers attacking different military facilities. And depending on this kind of attack, we will see a possible retaliation from the Iranian side, because if there is an American attack, it will be an Iranian retaliation. The problem is, depending on the intensity of the American attack, we will see also the intensity of the Iranian retaliation.
Yes, there are a lot of outcomes of what may happen here. But U.S. intervention in the Middle East historically has not ended up being very successful for the people of those countries. We can think of Iraq, Afghanistan, prime examples. If the same had to happen in Iran, are there any factors where this could turn out differently compared to other countries in the region?
Difficult to predict. What I see is that the political system in Iran is much more cohesive, much more united, and the Revolutionary Guard and the political elite is much more cohesive than other countries that we saw in some cases that they were disbanded as soon as they eliminated the top of the pyramid of the power. And the proof is that they have been resilient for more than 40 years, surviving different kinds of protests internally in 2009, 2017, 2018, 2022. And also they have been resilient against attacks coming from outside since the very beginning of the Islamic Republic, since the 1980s, the Iran-Iraq War, etc., etc. So I don't think this will be a short adventures as it happened in Venezuela, or a war that it could end with the elimination of the political elite in 1 week, as it happened in Iraq. I think it would be, if the United States decides to engage in a large-scale war, it will be very painful for both the Iranian population and also the U.S. Army. I don't think it is the case. I think the United States will go for something smaller that is looking for high impact. But again, what is that high impact? I mean, Soleimani was also mentioned in the Trump interview yesterday. Okay, but Soleimani was killed 5 years ago, and nothing changed in Iran. So it's difficult to see that what is expecting the United States doing one kind of operation when you see that there's a big turmoil and people is dying in the Iranian streets without being prevented by anybody, neither from the United States, from anybody else.
If you were talking about the top of the pyramid, if that had to go, and arguably that is the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, if he was no longer in charge, realistically, who are the people who could replace that top leadership? When you look at Masoud Pezeshkian, he himself is a bit more moderate, a bit more of a reformist. Obviously, there are issues with the economy right now. That's why the protest started in the first place. But could he be somebody who people could connect with, or feel that he's somebody who could take the country forward in terms of trying to sort out some of these economic issues?
I don't have Pezeshkian has the legitimacy to be occupying the position of Khamenei. I don't think anybody outside the religious elite can have that legitimacy. Now we have the civil power represented by Pezeshkian, the military power represented by the IRGC, and the religious power. And so far, the religious power is the one that is determining the rules of the game inside Iran. If Khamenei disappears, probably there will be a quick succession process that it will depend on the willingness of the IRGC to accept this transitional process. But I don't see anybody like in Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, that would be the second in charge in Iran right now that they could occupy this position immediately. There should be a process that if it takes longer, it will create maybe more vacuum of power. But I don't think this vacuum of power will be permanent, because the structure of the Islamic Republic is still there, and it's difficult to break that structure that has been cemented for over 40 years with a very strong support from the Revolutionary Guard, that they are actually obeying directly the leadership, the religious leadership. So I assume that this is not going to change. The loyalty of the RGC is not going to change toward Pezeshkian.
Luciano Zaccara, thank you very much for giving us that analysis live there from Doha.